Half-blood prince? Half-blood prince. Let's start again. In between the time it took to shoot Half-Blood Prince and actually see it, I changed address. I'd moved out of my mum's house by now and was living in my own flat in Surrey, along with my beloved puppy, Timber. My dear friend Whitey moved into my old flat. He called me one day to say a letter had arrived for me. I immediately assumed it was a parking fine, but he said he'd opened it by mistake. Yep. I immediately assumed it was a parking fine, but he said he'd opened it by mistake. It's from some guy called Joe, he said. Some guy called Joe. And it's got an owl on the top of the page. The penny dropped. What does it say? I demanded. I don't know. I haven't read it. Well, read it! Something about a half-blood prince? Safe to say, Whitey wasn't a fan. Just hold on to the letter, I told him. I'm coming round now. That letter from Jo Rowling was the first contact I'd had with her for years. It was written on her beautifully gilded home stationery. Complimented my performance. Safe to say, that ended up in a frame and is still with me to the day. If it hadn't been for Michael's Safe to say, that ended up in a frame, and is still with me to this day. If it hadn't been for Michael's unorthodox pep talk during our breath of fresh air, however, it could have turned out very differently indeed.